Now, you know what else is going on the road? My LSU Tigers going to Tuscaloosa. Alabama, 10.5-point favorite, according to BetMGM. 7:30 Eastern, ABC. This is a game that I thought would have very different stakes in the preseason. LSU, you got the fired head coach juice at your back now. Brian Kelly, no longer your head coach. Frank Wilson, running back coach and interim head coach in Baton Rouge. We keep seeing this across college football. We saw it last week in Jacksonville and Florida, Georgia. When your head coach gets fired, as much as it just sucks for your football program long-term and you got to go find a new guy and it's just a bummer that you had to fire the guy, whatever, it does in some ways burst that pressure bubble that maybe would have existed previously. Like now you should be in some ways, if you're LSU, thinking you got house money. And oh, by the way, you're going on the road. You can go mess up Alabama's college football playoff aspirations, or at the very least kind of make them rethink things when it comes to where they're going to be in that first round of the college football playoff. This would be not a season changer, but at least a mood booster for the folks out in Baton Rouge. You can go out and find a way to beat Alabama on a year where you didn't have your head coach in that game. I can't wait to watch this one. But Frank Wilson, I think, will have the boys dialed in, ready to play. Keep an eye on the pressure bubble being burst and that interim head coach juice here for LSU in this spot in Bryant-Denny. Now for Alabama, I feel like every single week I'm talking about them having a quote-unquote weird spot. Oh, you got to go on the road and play Missouri, noon kick. Didn't matter. Oh, well, hey, you got a mobile quarterback. It's Williams-Brice. It's a South Carolina homecoming, double-digit point spread. Didn't end up mattering in the end. How about now, though, where you're off a bye? LSU's off a bye. They fired their head coach. LSU has been abysmal the last couple of weeks. Are you able to take this spot as seriously as you need to? I know that question is repetitive, it's redundant, but it's kind of the question that we were all asking during SEC Media Days, wasn't it? It's never been about the talent for Alabama. It's been about the focus muscle. We know that focus muscle is strong for Bama. Where's the stamina at for that focus muscle here when you go play? Let's call a spade here. This is essentially a rivalry game between these two teams with what they've played for over the last couple of years. Now, I just mentioned LSU fired head coach. Now, I probably said that 3 or 4 times, way too many times throughout the course of this segment. There is a chance here for Alabama to sweep the leg from the jump. Snatch the will, snatch the soul, wind out of the sails, all those things. Because the idea here for LSU is house money. We're playing free. Are you still feeling that way if you're down 14-0 in the first quarter? And Ty Simpson's just taking shots downfield? And Jeremy Bernard's downfield catching touchdowns, and Ryan Williams is doing the cool celebration that he does when he gets in the end zone? Or the kick Batowski, Kato, is that what it is? Pretty fresh, yeah. That's pretty fresh. And that would bum me out from on LSU's sideline. And I thought we maybe had some mojo going into this game. You have a chance to do that early if you're Alabama. So I have to imagine Ryan Grubb doing the Spice Adams deal, where he's just kind of looking at the LSU defense saying, all right now, here we go. Going to catch them lacking. The thing, though, here, LSU's defense on the back end has actually been quietly really talented. Like Mansour Delane should be good to go in this game. He's LSU's best player. DJ Pickett, 5-star true freshman, coming more and more into his own. This will be a big spot for him. So the reason why I mentioned that, Ryan Grubb, I fully believe, will have guys open, but I don't think it's multiple guys every single play. I think it's like, hey, we dialed this up for Jeremy Bernard. Jeremy, go win. Ty, give him a ball. Jeremy, make the catch. That's how good things happen in football, right? But what's been the issue this year for Alabama? Maybe specifically for one player, Ryan Williams. We struggle with the drops a little bit here, brother. 14 drops on the year, not ideal. Or maybe it's 14 drops over his career. 14 drops over his career. Not on the year, but it's felt like that if you're an Alabama fan with what he's put forward this year. So, Ryan Williams, are we able to, when we have these moments against LSU, and it's drawn up for us, can we go capitalize on our plays that we have from Ryan Grubb to go win? Because if you can do that, again, it's going to be very difficult, I think, for LSU to keep pace, especially if you've set a quick pace early on the road, fired head coach, all those things. Don't need to address that too much further, but that's kind of the hand you're dealt here if you're LSU, and that's the opportunity you're dealt here if you're Alabama. So we need all hands on deck, Bama, in that receiver room to go get it done. LSU, we got to manufacture something for that front seven to worry about. Notice, I did not say we got to run the football. I think you have a good chance to run the football because your running back coach is now your interim head coach, and your new play caller is a former OC that comes from the offensive line world in Alex Atkins with what he did at Florida State. I think you'd like to have something in the run game, but just I would settle for anything for that front seven to worry about. That could be the extension of the run game with the perimeter passing game. It could be the tunnel screen game. It could be the quick game. Whatever it is, we can't be a sitting duck back there for Garrett Nussmeier. Because you saw what happened against A&M when you live in that world. When it's drop back, 3 and a hitch, 3 Mississippi, this LSU offensive line, God bless them, they're not good enough to protect Garrett Nussmeier. They're not. And I think very quietly, there is a world where this could be Garrett Nussmeier's best game. Could be. All right? Very, very big emphasis on the could be. The reason why I feel that, head coach, pretty intense character in Brian Kelly, no longer there, so you kind of remove that weight vest from it. Your OC, Joe Sloan, who was previously calling the show, for whatever reason, that wasn't working. He's no longer there. If I'm Garrett Nussmeier, I'm like, it's Home Alone, man. I'm Macaulay Culkin. What does he do in that movie when he finds out he's home alone? He's ordering pizza. He's playing the music loud. He's getting in the Buzz's room. He's doing whatever he wants. Is that the same kind of attitude we see from Garrett Nussmeier in this spot? He's a gunslinger at heart. I call him the gumbo gunslinger. Do we see that approach from him in this game? Also should be noted, off a bye week. The last time we saw Garrett Nussmeier off a bye week, it was against South Carolina. He had his best game to date. And then he looked okay against Vanderbilt. It was a loss, but it wasn't like Garrett Nussmeier was playing terrible. He had a decent day at the office. Good first half against A&M. The whole thing kind of fell apart from there. But the thing I'm trying to make sure we're all aligned on is post-bye week Garrett Nussmeier is, you would think, as healthy of a version of Garrett Nussmeier as you're going to get. Now, I'm not saying the dude's a spitting image of health. I'm not saying he's just like put him out there in an anatomy class and break down everything that's right about Garrett Nussmeier physically. But I do think that overall, like, he is good enough now to make the throws he has to make for LSU to have the potential to be successful in this spot. Now, something to watch here. Trey Green, I'm not going to do the whole 6'7" thing. I'm not going to do it, so quit asking, to quote Nick Saban. But he's a big dude, big body. He is 6'7". And Alabama didn't struggle with Brett Norfleet, the big old body tight end from Missouri, but he had a few plays. I think that's the safety blanket here for Garrett Nussmeier. He's been a go-to guy this year, quite frankly. He's the one matchup where I say if we can just expose that match, if we can just milk that thing all the way through, that might be how we stick around in this game. Heck, if we're LSU, maybe that's how we win this game. I mean, it's LSU Bama. Weird things happen all the time, right? It's 2025 in the world of college football. Weird things happen all the time. Also, Alabama and Kalen DeBoer, they haven't been all that awesome against double-digit point spreads since DeBoer's been there, this year included. Ask Florida State. Ask South Carolina. That was a 2-touchdown spread. The thing, though, with Alabama here, as much as there is a world where you can talk yourself into LSU and the fired head coach juice of it all and the opportunity and the mojo, we've seen black Air Force One energy from Alabama too many times this year. Unless Kalen DeBoer gets robbed this week, he's probably wearing the black hoodie. When he's wearing the black hoodie, good things happen. I think Alabama is going to, like I just said, have some explosives, score some points, put LSU in a hole, but Alabama with Daniel Hill, big 240-pound running back for them, he will then be the shovel to the back of the cranium for Alabama in this spot to then bury LSU. Like if Alabama just had one speed and it was just, we're going to go speedboat, score points, and we don't really have another way to downshift, Alabama has proven they have a way to downshift. I don't know if Caden Proctor gets any touches in this game. More power to him if that's what happens. But I think that the ability to get downhill and run the football with Daniel Hill, no pun intended there, is enough for them to get it done. So we've seen the finishing traits from Alabama at different points this year. Vanderbilt, Missouri, heck, the Georgia game even you could go back and point to. South Carolina, I think we see that show up in this spot. As frisky as I think LSU will be in this game, I think Alabama wins. I think Alabama covers. Final score in Tuscaloosa, 34-22, tied roll. This sucks for us as LSU folks. I won't call myself an LSU fan because that doesn't feel like a title I can necessarily tote for myself. But I picked a preseason to win the whole darn thing, LSU. We've had a lot of good times on the Ponderosa together, the LSU On3 message board. This is tough, but this is what's going to happen. We are truthful. We are honest. That's how we do our job here. So as much as it'd be fun for LSU to pull this thing out, if you're a Tiger fan, Bama's a machine right now. They're going to win this football game. They're going to cover. And Alabama is going to have more than a puncher's chance at an SEC championship and everything beyond that as well. So tied roll. You don't give I won't finish that whole thing, but you don't care about anything else but the Tide, and the Tide get it done in Tuscaloosa against LSU.